I'm Brianna Ward, and I believe in strength. When I was 14, I moved in with my eldest brother, Justin. I had just lost my closest brother, John, to foster care. He was the only sibling I had growing up. My mother and father were in jail. I wasn't very close to my brother, Justin, so moving in was very awkward. I did not see or know much of him growing up. We are 15 years apart. That could have something to do with it. My brother was newly married and had a 6-month-old son. I was pretty poor growing up and still consider myself poor. With my parents in jail and a new place away from drugs, life seemed like it could be happier, but it wasn't. I was very depressed. I would find myself sitting there thinking about my parents and hope that one day they would find the strength to quit using. I would end up crying a lot of those times. I was always strong-minded growing up. I believe staying strong is all you need to survive. I always believed I was okay when I wasn't always. My mother is a very weak person in my eyes. She let drugs really take control of her life. I still think about her to this day and wonder where she's at. I know she isn't far away, but her mind is. When my dad got out of jail, he stayed clean for 3 years of probation. I still lived with my brother for a while until my junior year. My father and his new girlfriend wanted me to move in with them. I thought it would be cool at first. My father and I had a rude awakening soon after I moved in. He found it hard to tell me anything. I would not listen. I've had my fair share of getting into trouble growing up with no guidelines. My father had never told me what to do before or what I couldn't do. We fought constantly. My father is weak when it comes to giving authority. Living with him was like living on my own. No rules, boundaries, or limits. Eventually he stopped trying with me. I got into some trouble over the summer and got put on probation. I knew I was not doing the right thing, and there's no excuse for getting into trouble. I knew my father was not going to try to take control of me, so I took control of myself. I moved in with this woman I had met. She did not use or drink, and her house was in the country. I knew it would be a great place for me to stay out of trouble and get 6 months of probation over with. Of course, my dad did not care if I moved in with this woman. I spent 6 months with this woman and isolated myself from everyone I knew. My friends were always trying to get me to go out to parties or just get out of the house. But honestly, I knew I had to stay strong and not give in. If I did not stay strong, I would have been going everywhere with my friends and probably would have gotten into more trouble. Trust me, 6 months was very hard. We did not always have a vehicle or food or money, but we stayed strong together. I will never regret living there. I did what I had to do to stay out of trouble. My father and I were getting along great when we lived away from each other. But after 6 months was done, I decided to move back to my brother Justin. Shortly after I did that, my dad moved back in too. We sort of get along as long as we stay away from each other, but now I have quite the dilemma. I don't have a vehicle or money, neither does my father. My brother tells me I don't deserve a ride to school because I don't watch his son when he wants me to. He believes I'm irresponsible. Someone is always mad or disappointed in me for whatever reason, but you know what? I really don't care. I only care about myself, even if that may sound selfish. The only person that believes in me is my brother John. He is the strongest person I know. He came up from nothing and made a life on his own. He always stayed strong growing up. He goes to Shasta College and lives on his own. He has epilepsy, so I'm always worried about him. I am happy, however. My dad is still clean from drugs, and he does not plan on going back. Right now, a month before graduation, is a time when I have to stay really strong and make sure I get to school every day. Being strong is the most important quality anyone can have. I will always stay strong. This I believe.